Noisy Pixel.
Immersion in puzzle adventures is everything. There have been plenty of times where I found myself playing a game within the genre and not really caring about the world around me as much as I am focused on getting to the next puzzle. I think I've been starved for a decent puzzle adventure, which has led me to dive headfirst into the out of the blue developed Call of the Sea. Where this game excels is how it immerses the player in a world that begs to be explored, with a few unconventional design choices.
Time to gather my things. I think I've overpacked.
Call of the Sea takes place in 1934 as a woman named Nora finds herself on a quest to find her missing husband. It's explained that her husband initially set out in search of a cure for an affliction that she suffers from where her arms have black spots on them. The entire adventure is crafted in a way where we learn more about Nora's past, her relationship with her husband, and the events that took place on the island involving the entire crew. I can't remember the last game I spent time meticulously reading every note and looking over each found object. Nora also keeps a journal that she updates upon each discovery, which is also full of text that gives insight to maybe something you missed or just thoughts that aren't explicitly present in the dialogue. By the midpoint of the adventure, I had a good idea who each of the crew members were and the events that transpired without even meeting them. The excellence of this game's narrative can only be attributed to Nora's carrying of the story. She's never in your face with facts or overbearing with her inputs. She's an intelligent lead voice in the game, which adds some masterful dialogue to the situation without revealing too much to the player. This makes discoveries feel like she and I were making them together, regardless if she was much more versed in the lore of this island. Puzzles within the game are all about perspective as you make your way through the mini areas. Taking time to inspect tabletops and look at images on the wall will make things easier for you when reaching a hurdle with progression. The difficulty is quite interesting as well, given that the developer chose to incorporate easier puzzles that revolve around a much more complicated design. Finding all the pieces lead to the answer, but it's not that easy. In fact, I was stuck several times throughout the game as I loomed over notes and clues and doubled back to see if there was anything that I missed. Still, I was never disheartened or overly frustrated given that all the tools you need to solve the puzzle are right in front of you. I did find that one of the later puzzles wasn't explained adequately and could have used a bit more QA to limit the trial and error that it took to solve. It was one of those, I know the answer, but I'm not sure how the game wants me to deliver it. Following this puzzle is a race to the conclusion, but nothing matched its level of difficulty. There were moments where I expected a curveball, but instead they seemed to be more consumed with wrapping up the narrative than presenting complex puzzle designs. That doesn't mean that the later puzzles weren't clever, but for example, at one point you're tasked with collecting 4 designs, but 3 of them require nothing more than walking into a room to get them, while the other has a decent puzzle to it. It was just out of place to the fact that why the other 3 didn't have puzzles or why only 1 did. Throughout the campaign, there are moments of surreal elements of storytelling that are tough to understand. These happen to be what truly interested me in Nora's resolve, because her connection to the island is much bigger than her and her husband. If you were expecting a simple rescue mission, well, you'd be wrong because things get weird. One element that I felt needed work were the transitions between chapters. It seems Call of the Sea loves to transport you from one place to the other without any real connection to the previous area. Most of the time, Nora is in one place, passes out, and wakes up in a new site. This only hurt my sense of direction and confused my understanding of the events that transpired before Nora got to the island. Music is used interestingly in Call of the Sea. It plays a more subtle role in the adventure, as the developer chose to use more environmental sounds to immerse the player. This caused moments where the music was present to stand out more prominently and significantly impact my enjoyment in a positive way. I should also stress that the voice actor Cissy Jones completely nails the performance of Nora. It's such an enormous task to carry an entire campaign of the game where you're essentially talking to yourself, but she does it expertly. The range of emotions displayed in dialogue through moments of stress, humility, and curiosity just complemented the overall experience. Graphically, Call of the Sea knocks visuals out of the park. The developers seem to understand how to create a beautiful and thriving world even on an indie budget. There's just so much detail in the environments and the finely placed set pieces that aim to tell a story as much as the notes you discover. I found the use of light also to be a great touch on guiding the player. Call of the Sea is a puzzle adventure that should be played by all fans of the genre. Its writing and environments are strikingly immersive as the player and Nora find themselves traveling deeper down the rabbit hole of mystery. There are moments of confusion in its design, but all the tools are present to explore this beautifully charming adventure. My only wish is that it was a little longer. Noisy Pixel is giving Call of the Sea an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. NoisyPixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.